just didn't feel like coming this morning. If you'll get a blue book, turn to number 46. Number 46 in the blue book. Numbers 46 in the blue book.
Once my soul was astray from the heavenly way, and was wrecked and wild as could be. But my Savior in love gave me peace from above when He reached out His hand. Savior reached out for me. When my Savior reached out for me, I was lost and undone without God or His Son. When my Savior reached out for me. I was near to despair when He came to me there, and He showed me that I could be free. Then He lifted my feet, gave me gladness complete, when He reached out His hand for me. The Savior reached out for me. When my Savior reached out for me, I was lost and undone without God or His Son. When my Savior reached out for me. My heart does rejoice when I hear His sweet voice. In the tempest to Him I then flee. There's a lean on His arm, safe, secure from all harm. When He reached out His hand for me. My Savior reached out for me. He had the rain way down for me. I was lost and undone without God or His Son. When my Savior reached out for me. The Savior reached out for me. When the Savior reached out for me, I was lost and undone without God or His Son. When my Savior reached out for me.
Good morning. It's good to see each one out this morning, and it's also a blessing to have the Carr family with us this morning, and so it's got make them feel welcome, and we're glad that they can come be with us. We're excited about that. I'm going to be reading in Psalms, and I want to ask you to stand this morning because I'm going to read Psalm 34. And I'm likely going to read the whole chapter. You can go ahead and find your place there. But I know our Sunday school lesson this morning is on attitude, our attitude of worship. And it seems like the Lord's been speaking this to me and dealing with me on this same thing. So this is the direction that the Lord's taking me this morning with a devotion. You know, and of course, you know, some people may say that sports don't have any place in church, but my girls play volleyball, and we've spent a lot of time at volleyball tournaments. And it seems like the Lord uses whatever I'm doing in my life to speak to me through those things. But my girls' volleyball coach, she teaches them that the game of volleyball is about 90% attitude. And you can see it on the court when things are not going right. You can see the expressions on their face, and then you can see when things are going right, and just their attitude, their changing attitude and how they perform. But I want to talk about our worship and our attitude. In Psalms 34, it says, starting in verse 1, it says, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. My soul shall make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. They looked unto him, and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him, and saved him out of his troubles. The angel of the Lord encampeth around them, about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord shall not want any good thing. Come, ye children, hearken unto me, and I will teach you the fear of the Lord. What man is he that desireth life and loveth many days, that he may see good? Keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. Depart from evil, and do good. Seek peace, and pursue it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, and his ears are open to their cry. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. The righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as of a contrite spirit. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all. He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. The Lord redeemeth the soul of his servants, and none of them that trust him shall be desolate. So, it says in verse 5, it says, they looked upon him and were lightened, and their faces were not ashamed. It says, my soul shall make her boast in the Lord, and humble shall hear thereof and be glad. O magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. So, it says in verse 13, it says, keep thy tongue from evil, and thy lips from speaking guile. You know, it's real easy to look at our circumstances in life. Just like when things are not going right in sports or in any situation, it's real easy to look, and all we can see is you know, our desperation. All we see is what's going on in front of us. But the children of Israel, when they were in the desert, they murmured. It says they murmured in their tents. And then we read of all the things that God brought against them because of their murmuring. And it says that they sinned against God during that time. And I guess what I'm trying to say this morning is we all face trials. We all face troubles. and how we allow it to affect us in our walk with the Lord. And not only that, but and that affects how we come and we worship the Lord. I want to read a quote, it says, attitudes. Words can never adequately convey the incredible impact of our attitude toward life. The longer I live, the more convinced I become that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we respond to it. I believe the single most significant decision I can make on a day-to-day basis is the choice of attitude. It is more important than my past, my education, my bankroll, my successes or failures, fame or pain, what other people think of me or say about me, my circumstances or my position. Attitude keeps me going or cripples my progress. It alone fuels my fire or assaults my hope. When my attitudes are right, there's no barrier too high, no valley too deep, no dream too extreme, no challenge too great for me. And that was Charles Swindoll, and that's a popular quote. So, in studying that, Charles Swindoll even said that he had a time in his life when he struggled with his attitude, and his wife brought it to his attention that he was struggling with his attitude, and it was affecting his family life. And, I've been there, and that's kind of what the Lord's been dealing with me about. You get caught up in life, not bad things, not necessarily bad things, but you get caught up. We all get busy, but then we forget the most important things a lot of times is our attitudes towards our loved ones, but most importantly, our attitudes and how it affects our witness and how it affects our testimony, and also it affects our worship. When we come before the Lord on Sunday morning and Wednesday night and any other time, the most important thing that I feel like that we can do is bring our best. And the reason why I think that is because when we bring our best to worship, and if we exalt Christ with our best effort, that's how we bring others to Christ. That's how we show the love of Christ, is we exalt Him through our worship and through our attitudes. And that's how we see others come to know Christ, and that's how we see others get help, is we come into the presence of the Lord. How we live throughout the week and how we worship when we come to church is directly related to how our worship is on Sunday morning and how we get others before the Lord so that they can get help. So that's the devotion I have this morning. And are there anybody that has any word or testimony before we are dismissed to our classes? If not, Brother Randy King, will you pray and dismiss us?
God, we thank you for this devotion, Father. God, we just ask you, Lord, to help us to take these words of the psalmist, dear God, and Lord, just apply them to our heart and lives, dear God, that we may live better for you, dear Heavenly Father. God, as we dismiss now and go downstage lessons, dear God, just be with each teacher. God, just give them the words to say, dear God, and help us to have an open heart and open mind to learn more about you. Heavenly Father, just be with the Carr family today, dear God. Brother Carr, dear God, just will be in the services. God, just pour out your blessings upon our church. And dear Heavenly Father, God, again, we wouldn't want to fail to mention the sick and the weary, God. You know what you need. Lord, we just ask you to be with each of them. God, we ask you, Lord, more importantly, God, if there's one here that doesn't know you, Lord, just help them to come to know you. Heavenly Father, as always, if we fell in